at the fruit display, at the checkout, in the street. Hard to overstate the psychological impact of hundreds of blasts across Lebanon, mostly in Hezbollah areas. Pages exploding at about 3:30, according to the group. Security forces asking Lebanese to stay off the road so the sheer volume of emergency vehicles could get to hospital. Nearly 3,000 patients, at least 170 critical. Easily the most widespread moment of violence to hit across Lebanon since the 2006 war with Israel.
Almost 200 people injured in the pager blast that occurred Tuesday afternoon were treated here at the American University of Beirut Medical Center, where the chief medical officer told us that even though there were women and children among the injured, the vast majority were young men. Now, thousands of people were injured in the apparently simultaneous pager blast that took place at about 3:30 in the afternoon Tuesday in areas where Hezbollah has a strong presence. Now, here outside the hospital, friends and relatives of those injured are waiting for news. Not surprisingly, most do not want to appear on camera, but off camera, one told us, for instance, that a friend of his received a message on his pager. He picked it up, looked at it, and it exploded in his face, damaging his eyes and his fingers.
The Fed just delivered its first interest rate cut since COVID, and it is a big one, 0.5 percentage point. This is a major milestone for the economy, and it does signal greater help on the way for borrowers who are struggling with painfully high interest rates on stuff like credit cards and mortgage loans and small business loans. So why did the Fed end up deciding to go big instead of a more gradual interest rate cut? Well, there's two reasons when you go through the statement. Some of this is encouraging, some of it is a little bit concerning. On the encouraging front, the Fed says that they've got greater confidence that inflation is going sustainably back where it belongs, to 2%. So that is, of course, very good news for all of us who are concerned about the cost of living, about the cost of groceries and rent and car insurance. And the Fed says that they are more encouraged by the further progress on that front. But the Fed is also, by going big, they're also acknowledging at least some level of concern about some softness in the jobs market.
Death tolls are continuing to rise in several parts of Europe as a result of extreme weather conditions. First of all, as a result of some of the havoc that's been caused by Storm Boris in parts of Eastern and Central Europe. Some of the worst hit areas along Poland's border with the Czech Republic, where towns have been evacuated, bridges have collapsed, and there are fears that there could be more damage to come. In some parts of Central Europe, it was a month worth of rain that fell in a matter of just days, with many of those parts of Europe simply unprepared for the amount of water that fell from the sky. We've seen dams burst, bridges collapse, and tens of thousands have to be evacuated already, with much of that chaos now spreading southwards to parts of Europe along the Danube. There are also fears about the wildfires that have gripped parts of Portugal in the centre and the north of the country, Portugal and Spain, that have been for many years now subject to forest fires over the course of ever-heating summers. This summer, not so bad for those parts of southern Europe, but it is the late surge in temperatures over the course of the weekend that appears to have caused several of those wildfires to start. Many thousands of firefighters involved in several parts of Portugal in trying to put them out, but fears still that they could continue to spread. Melissa Bell, CNN, Paris.
Starting next week, Instagram is going to start automatically applying new teen account settings for all users under the age of 18. Here's what that's going to look like. All new and existing teen accounts will be automatically set to private. So even if you're a teen influencer, your account will automatically be set to private. There's going to be new restrictions on who can message teens, who can tag them in photos and comments. Teens will start seeing less sensitive content in their feed. So think, for example, a post promoting a cosmetic procedure. They'll see less of that. Teen accounts will also be automatically set to sleep mode by default, which means they won't be receiving notifications overnight, messages will receive an auto response, and teens are going to start getting a warning when they've spent an hour on the platform each day.